Namaste, and welcome to our continuing series on homeopathy with our beloved Dr. Pachegaonkar. Today we will do on the composition of the body, digestion, part 2.
Like as we have seen the whole anatomical process, anatomical structural thing, which facilitates digestion or the direction of food. It's so finely organized by the system that suppose you have the taste. Now, even if you remember, like you have food in front of you and you intend to eat it, or you have decided to eat, or you have designed to eat, from there itself the system gets geared up. The salivation. Salivation is the first thing to appear. And it sterilizes, makes it very smooth, and the breaking down of the food material starts in the mouth itself. Not only that, the taste and everything, the taste, that everything guides, so all our juices get ready to be secreted. Depending upon what you are eating, the juices already get geared up. Like in pancreas and in liver, they get geared up and they become ready to be secreted. See, there would be ample of time for food to reach duodenum, because there is a stop in stomach for the food to reach. But even then, from the taste itself, everything, system gets geared up for the digestion. Not only that, you even reject the food which is not suitable for you. Yes, you just know that this food is not okay for you. Immediately you reject. Suppose a stale food, the moment you put bite in mouth, your system knows that no, this is not proper for you, and it just reject it. So it's a wonderful, synchronized functioning. It is not the mouth independently working. Throughout, there is a central system which is governing it. Central system through its nerves is governing it. You know the temperature of the food. Like if you eat too hot food, then definitely lot of salivation will be there to cool it down in mouth. Because we always say, when food goes to esophagus, it has to be closer to body temperature. It can't be so hot, because we know the people who are used to eat in hurry and hot food, temperature wise hot, it's a known cause of cancer. It predisposes you for malignancy, because irritation comes. So our system is so intelligent that even if you eat something which is high in temperature, the salivation and moving body will see that it comes to your body temperature, and then it is allowed to pass further. Even if you gulp, drink hot tea, then definitely our mouth will ensure that before it reaches esophagus, it has to be closer to body temperature. So this type of intelligent system starts working from the very inlet, and from there, like in stomach, see, we have that acid secretion to such an extent that the food is sterilized. All the undue infections in our food will be sterilized in the stomach with the action of acid. So it's
With the action of
acid will
yes,
not allow
understand.
bacteria or any
Right.
other infection to survive. A healthy system, that's what we always say, that healthy tissue is the best antiseptic. And sometimes if you see, if you drink water doesn't have emptying time. You see, when you drink water, and if it comes to closer to your body temperature, then stomach, there is nothing to process or digest much in water, so stomach allows it to pass further, so emptying is very short. So the sterilization process will not be proper, and therefore we say that on empty stomach, if you are drinking water, it should be a safe potable water. There should be no chance of contamination. But by chance, if we suspect that we don't have safe drinking water, a potable water is not there, and we feel that it might carry some contamination or infection, in that case, we what we advise is you eat some food and then drink, so that because you have eaten solid food, that has to churn in stomach, and lots of acid secretion will be there and churning will be there, and therefore this water will get sterilized. So it's a wonderful mechanism. It's a very intelligent system where everything is governed from second to second, and it is well monitored system. And in stomach also, you have the what we call branches of vagus, especially on the pyloric side. Those branches of vagus, on empty stomach, these branches send the impulse to our central system to monitor the acid secretion. So even acid secretion pH also is maintained through the time to time governance of our central system. And that's why we say if someone is anxious or something, the digestion will not take properly. Because when you are consciously eating, when happily eating, you are relishing food, definitely the digestion process will be proper. But you are mechanically eating, your hand is putting bite in the mouth, your mouth is just deglutinating it, mixing it, and then pushing it back. But your mind is dwelling on something else, then definitely this digestive process will not be well organized by our central system, and there always will be some pathology following it. And that's why we say it is not a mechanical thing in digestion, it is completely a holistic thing where centrally everything is governed. So you must be very much composed and dwelling upon your digestion. That's what we say, that when you are eating, consciously concentrate on it and eat happily. Not only that, we have seen some people who have the deficiency of something in the body. That person innately starts relishing things which are required for the body. We have seen especially the pregnant women, they need more calcium. So definitely they start craving things which are rich in calcium. So definitely the craving, the taste, the relishing also can be wonderfully organized by body as a proactive action for getting those elements. So this digestive system is what we call a procurement system. Procurement, what body needs, it is procured by this digestive system. It is accepted, procured. Not only that, person would go on hunting the thing which one needs. So definitely this sort of digestion process, if it continues up to stomach, 50% digestion is done. And what we call milk, you start digesting thing in mouth, then stomach, and then duodenum, then small intestine, up to cecum, the things continue, and you start absorbing the material. Undue tissue cause and some other metabolic products like excessive bile, if it is secreted, that also goes in intestinal tract. And things what are absorbed, again the need is done, and that store, what we call a wonderful intelligent store system, where wherever it is needed it is supplied. And then body has system to even have reserves, the storage, and those reserves also are connected with this digestion. For example, suppose someone has low blood sugar, it is depleting, the person starts going in almost a coma, becomes inactive. Because in what happens when there is a paucity of this glucose in the blood, the system recognizes that there is no supply, so reserves we can't use, we won't use the reserves, we'll keep it, and person is in suspended animation. goes in coma, all activity stopped, hibernation. So requirement of energy will be less, and therefore it would be preserved, conserved. The moment you put some sugar or some carbohydrate in mouth, within few minutes the person gets up. So it is not that this glucose what is digested has reached the brain. No, the intelligence system senses that the supply has come, and as the supply has come, definitely we can procure carbohydrate from this. So now no problem in using the reserves. So reserves of carbohydrate also are used, and person revives before the fresh supply is already ready to use it. So the whole system, the appetite, the activities, digestion, absorption, storage is wonderfully synchronized holistically by our intelligent system.
I have a question about when someone eats much too rapidly. We used to say, wolfs down your food. What is happening in the body?
See, there is a system in our body that what you eat, it has to be, what we call pulverized to the finer size, because even the particle size also counts in our digestion. Because what happens, see, this intestinal flora, it's very interesting. Like composting, we have seen that large, particles need a lot of time for composting, whereas
Yes.
finer particles will be decomposed very easily.
Right.
Same way, these food particles, if they are coarse, not finer, then the friendly bacterial flora will not be able to digest it quickly. So our system ensures that it is refined to the finer particle size, and then it is swallowed. If it is not done, in a coarse
Just take
thing,
some
then it goes in stomach. Definitely it will be churned and all, but lot of things will be undigested, because all these juices, the bacterial flora will not reach those organisms, and plus then it will be just fermented in our large intestine. Lot of things will be just passed on, it will not be utilized. So best thing is what we say, how much to chew the food in mouth. That is such an intelligent system that depends upon what you eat. Like if you are eating something which is powdery and pasty and already, then chewing will not be required more. But if you are eating something which has a solid consistency, then the mouth would need a lot of time to ground it. That grinding has to be there to the optimum size of particles. That would be missing if you are eating in hurry. And that is what we say. What happens, that's why one, if is not conscious of what one is doing, then this thing can happen. I have seen people, what they do is they put one bite in mouth, and because after putting bite in mouth their hand is free, so it lifts another bite in hand. And because one has taken another bite in hand, spoonful, then you hurry in gulping it, you're swallowing it, because this is waiting. So what we suggest is, when one is eating, you just allow your mouth to take decision when it should be pushed. And once it is pushed in esophagus, then only lift another bite in hand. Otherwise there is no point. Like if it is something liquid, you can nicely go on swallowing it. You don't need to refine it much in mouth. There's no need. And there you can finish your meals in say 3-4 minutes. But if it is something solid which has to be ground properly in the mouth, well, mastication is there, and then one has to devote the time for that. And your mouth reflexly takes decision when it is to be pushed in the esophagus, and then you do it. So it's a wonderful holistic action which guides you.
We might have a few minutes left. You had mentioned probiotics. Seems to be a big thing about probiotics now, taking probiotic pills and all. What is your
we
read on
we
that?
always, first thing we advise is don't disturb your flora first. Because what people are doing, they are taking heavy antibiotics, and antibiotics against one disease organism will be bactericidal or harmful to the friendly organisms in our intestinal tract. So first of all, avoid taking antibiotics which spoil your intestinal flora. In that case, you don't require to take probiotics, because already the intestinal flora is rich and enough flora is there. But in case by eating wrong food or diarrhea or whatever reason, if it is disturbed, then what we advise is the yogurt, curd, is again a wonderful probiotic. And that yogurt culture, especially if buttermilk is made, and that if you consume, it's the best probiotic. But what happens, it is so many other things are connected with it. For example, if you don't have proper sleep, the intestinal flora gets disturbed. It's so well organized. Okay, we have to first rule out things which disturb the intestinal flora, friendly organisms. And once you do that, then you can support by giving probiotic. And the best, most natural probiotic would be curd, the yogurt or buttermilk would be the best.
Thank you so much. Very, very illuminating. Namaste all. We'll see you next week again with Dr. Pachegaonkar.